All right, y'all, so let's talk about this. So something very interesting happened today. So I had a couple of Deontay Wilder fans say to me today, right now it's 3:14 Sunday, okay? And they said to me, it's like, hey, yo, Aries, what's up? I said, yo, man, it wasn't never nothing personal, but like, and I know we used to always be running, taking Wilder side and stuff, but like, I see what you saying now. Now we talking about shit stemming all the way back to after the second loss to Fury when Glovegate started. And they're like, one of them said flat out that there was three people. One of them flat out said like, nah, man, I was out of pocket on some shit because I'm like, I was thinking you was hating, but like everything you said then, more people are starting to say it right now, right? And all three of them came across that video. It's in my archives. They came across that video with Deontay Wilder. Was on that audio, okay? And admitted to the costume, which I'm going to get to all that later. But he admitted. I'm telling y'all. So we're going to talk about how he fell off and why he fell off. But they said to me, and this is why I'm making this video. This is Black History Month, and they're all black. I'm black, Wilder's black. But we're going to talk about this because this is what I want people to understand, because people hear things, they see things, they move on. Now, what used to be education and useful information has just become nothing but entertainment, gossip, and shit to talk about when you sitting there talking to people, bitching about life and who's who and all this nonsensical shit. They said all three of them, and they had to plan this shit. I told you how people go from channel to channel, and everybody who is like cheering for the same person, lying for them, being biased for them. These dudes start subscribing to other channels and they converse. They start, but they basically all said, you was right. You was wrong. I just told them plain and simple, well, I got something coming for that. And I didn't even tell them to watch this video. But I just said, I got something coming for that. And I just said, salute. That was it. That was it. Later on, I come back, there's more messages. So it's like they wanted, it was like, in other words, man, Dan, we apologize and we trying to like really just, yeah, man, like you was right. So I just told them, I said, listen, we as black people need to understand something. Supporting people and lying for them are two different things. A liar will lie on anyone. A liar will turn on you. Like I said, you picked the guy because he was the only heavyweight out there that was a black American that had any recognition of any kind that was doing anything. But you basically went overboard to the point where you guys were lying for him. And no matter what he said, you guys was not even talking logic and reason. You guys were spewing out nothing but hate. But you tried to reverse it and make it look like me and anybody else who was speaking the truth about this shit was doing the hating. Now that you guys realize all of that, now you want to, no, now that you guys, I said that now that you guys are willing to admit the truth about it, right? Understand. You may deal with people who had the same mentality that you once had. Because once you see somebody's lying, you see somebody basically just making up shit, and I know what I see in this dude. So I'm like, yeah. So whether they watch it, they don't. That's on them. But like my whole thing with that was real simple. I ain't got no reason to make up none of this shit. For what the hell? I'm not telling y'all nothing that y'all don't have access to. It ain't like I got some exclusive content, like I'm peeking in this man's window to see what he's doing. Everything I tell y'all is here for the public to see. Okay, unless somebody take it down like the Harold Sconia fight and other shit that you can't find about him. But yeah, they found that video. And I told him it's in my archives. Yeah, and that's probably what they did. Went in my archive to see. Because I mentioned it in another video recently. And I guarantee you, like they said, now all of a sudden everybody's starting to say the same thing. Well, there was people that were saying the same things back then. But now what happened is Wilder is no longer relevant. And he's fighting guys like Derek Chisora to try to stay afloat, to try to make some money. You know, when they basically went back and listened to that video, right? And you hear this person say to Deontay Wilder, because let's go back to the fight. Deontay Wilder was asked, and they said, when he said he had difficulties, remember the lady interviewed him, said, so are you saying like the Fury's style, like his skill, like what was it, something that, what was he doing that was giving you difficulties or something like that? And he goes, no, like before I came to the ring. And she's like, before you came to the ring? Now all y'all gotta do is simply go to that fucking second fight and just watch the post in-ring interview. So nothing I'm telling you is not like you can't access it. So if you didn't see it, that's all you got to do. And he says like 15 minutes before he came out, but I can't speak on it. That's what he said, right? I can't speak on it, or I don't want to speak on it. One or the other. But I think he said I can't speak on it, and he didn't. The interview that he had, the person says to Deontay Wilder, he says, you said in the ring that you had difficulties like 15 minutes before you came out. He said, like, what was some of the, I mean, you said things were wrong. Can you talk about like what was like, what happened? And he starts talking, and in that talk, and everybody heard this shit. And as I said, they talked about it on ESPN and any other sport that you know covers boxing or talk about it. Everybody talked about it. But the Wilder fans are really, there's some really evil, hateful people. They can talk all this bullshit, oh man, you know, man, they are some really evil, hateful people. He ain't the only one that got evil, hateful people as fans. Most of them, every fighter, all of them, they got a bunch of evil, hateful motherfuckers as fans. Okay, not saying all of them, but the majority, oh yeah, the ones that want to threaten people and try to act tough, what your bitch ass is going to do? Nothing. But all that tough talk and all this, we God fearing, yeah, you and your God ain't shit. Because that's what your God put in your head, that this is what you're supposed to do, because all you're going to do is find yourself somewhere unalived trying to be tough. So what ends up happening, he said, I ain't had no legs when I was going to the ring because my outfit was like 45 pounds and a long ring walk. Remember, he even blamed the two gay dudes that made his suit for him. Remember that. We hear this just to have somebody try to challenge and insult your integrity like you made it up. I never heard that. I'm like, fuck what you heard, man. And all of a sudden, you couldn't find that shit anywhere. About a year and a half later, 2 years later, whatever, that shit came back, and I made sure I got my hands on it. Now, for everybody that took it like, which I don't care how you took it, but for everybody that took it like, oh man, they going off the wall, they going through the black man. See, here we go. Here we go. Y'all say that. I'm going to tell you what y'all fail to understand. It was about exposing the truth. And in exposing the truth and debunking lies, we had to look at what Wilder was saying about Fury, and then we had to look at what Fury was doing. And none of us see that. Remember, I took the demonstration. Remember that video? I showed y'all different pair, like 2 or 3 different pair of gloves, and how I could do this, and how stupid would it look for somebody to be throwing jabs like this? Because if I'm hitting you with my palm, then that's what I'm doing, right? If I'm throwing a hook and I'm slapping you here, well, I could actually break my hand that way, but not only that, that's ineffective, and that's really stupid. You understand what I'm saying? Flicking the damn, what you call it? Everybody talk about how I used to do it in homes and all of it. Yeah. So now all of a sudden they showing him, oh, you can see his palm, all that, man, put the little red circles and everything, and I told y'all, I said, man, this is bullshit. If I stick my hand up in a pair of gloves you can see if my knuckle, you will see it, right? And if there's no padding, then we got proof. If this man has an egg weight wrapped in his fucking, do you realize that shit can fuck around and break his bones? Do you, a hard ass ball of metal against your fucking body, do you know what he could have did to his hands? So saying he had no padding in his glove, then saying he had an egg weight in his glove. Now, more recently, when you say, if he cheated in sparring, you don't think he'd do it in the ring? That one comment right there alone lets you know Deontay still ain't got no proof and he never will. All the evidence and all the shit he claimed he has now, the funny thing is, and I gotta say it again, this man sat there. I'm gonna remind y'all, because when the shit start coming out, you go, damn, Aries did say that shit too, way back when then. I'm telling you, I don't remember the dude's name, but like I told y'all, this same dude went on counterpunch boxing. When Kurt DeVille asked him these questions, and he asked him about the costume, he said Champ never said that. People misconstrue what Champ said. And that dude said, bottom line is, we're not going to sue him yet. We're going to fight it. We're going to wait. We're going to wait. We're going to fight him in his third fight. We're going to beat him, and we're going to get this dirty motherfucker out the sword. We're going to give all this evidence. He fights the third fight. He gets annihilated. And then he sat there and said, I'm going to go to my grave knowing the truth. But it's hard to convince people when you don't have proof and evidence. Now, you tell me, how do you go from saying, I'm going to go to my grave knowing what happened, but it's hard to convince people when you don't have proof, you don't have evidence. So all of a sudden now you have proof and evidence. Wilder is trying to get more attention on himself now, to help him, to get people to pay, to even want to care, to even want to see this damn fight. Okay? Remember how Wilder was talking about how he don't have to go to the UK? Remember how him and all these YouTube channels that follow him was talking about how the UK is small, boxing is way bigger than America is way bigger than the UK. You got boxing, all this and that. Boxing ain't bigger in the UK than it is in America. I remember all of this stuff. I remember all of it. He ain't have to go to the UK. Remember that? Oh yeah, he used to make fun of the accents and everything, right? Now check this out. With all of that, now all of a sudden, the UK has the best fans. Now he's saying all this stuff. Now all of a sudden, him and Derek Chisora like the best of friends. Derek talking about how he's going to go to Alabama and stay for 2 weeks after this fight and chill with Wilder, right? All this stuff he's saying. Now all of a sudden, they all buddy, they chums. Okay, cool. And it just so happens all this is taking place now during Black History Month. But just saying, okay. What is it with Derek Chisora, who's very close with AJ? But what is it with Derek Chisora that he's so cool with him, but he has so much against AJ? Don't know. It's just something to think about, though. Wilder telling you he got all his information is because, like I say, he's trying to get attention to himself into this fight to want to get people interested. Okay? But also, for his documentary and his movie he's talking about, he wants to get people to go, damn, now you got information. Okay. We're going to see this information. We're going to see this proof. Now, immature, lame in the brain people will think like that. Mature-minded people will know this is about your life and your health. If that man did to you what you said he did, that's attempted manslaughter. Attempted murder, okay? And if you're not going to sue this guy and you can't sue him because you don't have proof, what is this movie going to do? They want the movie to sell well. They want the documentary to do well, okay? He want to try to get some attention back to himself. So my thing is, after your movie and your documentary come out and Fury's still free, You did all of this to do what? To have people take your side. What does that do for you? Is it going to refine your skills in the ring? No. So all of these things that took place. Now, this is a man that got pissed, got up. Now, don't get me wrong. I still agree with him with jumping off Simon Jordan, because Simon Jordan, he's an annoying dude and he does this shit so often. He's always trying to, he gives his little 2 cents, but he's always trying to assume whatever he's thinking is spot on, even without proof of anything. So he does the same shit. And yeah, he basically wanted to get Wilder on there so he can give him a piece of his mind and say what he wanted to say. Like he's been waiting years for this, right? The reason I agree with Wilder for doing what he's doing, for one, he trying to play you like you're a little bitch, but at the same time, that's your fault for twerking all the time. But at the same time, that's old news. So why are we bringing Fury up? Why bring up AJ? Why bring up any? Why? And not only that, think about this. Derek Chisora is sitting right next to him. So the purpose of having these guys on your show is supposed to be to promote the fight that's coming up. No, these dudes are like nothing but entertainment channels, gossip channels, Wendy Williams 2.0 shit. You know what I mean? So yeah, I agree with him for that. Now, you're not going to sit here and try to play me like I'm some little bitch, but on top of that, well, you're not even talking about the man sitting next to me. You sit up here talking about Tyson and Fury. Nah, we're not like. But the problem in that, like I said, is it's not because he don't want to talk about Wilder, about Fury. He don't want to talk about Fury that somebody's going to show favoritism. He wants to talk to people that show him favoritism, because he was just on another show, right? It had a black host and he was talking about Fury. So it's not that you don't want to talk about Fury, okay? Facts. These are actual facts. And this is the problem that Wilder fans has always had, is that they don't deal with reality and truth. It's whatever Champ says, that's what it is. We don't even care if he's lying. We just going to take his side regardless. I don't trust liars. And the fact that Wilder sat there, though, he lied. He sat right there on that show when they brought up the costume, and Wilder said, I never said that. That's a fucking lie. And I'll put that on my dead mama, and every fucking body knows he said that. And he's saying, now, how the guy lied to Kurt DeVille and told Kurt that Champ never said that, people misconstrued what Champ said and all that bullshit. Nah, the bullshit. I remember, I was reading the comments. Kurt DeVille's followers was pissed off. Man, sitting there letting this motherfucker say all that shit. You know what I'm saying? You know he lying. Yeah. Kurt is the type of person, from what I see with him, salute Kurt DeVille, kind of punch boxing. He tries to kind of like not so much play neutral, but more like stay away from the messy shit. I ain't never seen his demeanor as being like aggressive and, nah, nigga, you lying. Well, I don't know him personally, but from what I've seen, I've never seen him like that, like an aggressive nature. So I didn't think that's what was going to happen. Okay, but they wanted Kurt to put this motherfucker in the hot seat, ask him the questions, the tough questions that other people not. So when that didn't happen, he was asking the questions, they were talking, but he didn't ask the questions or react to the answers the way that they wanted him to. And I remember, I told people, I said, yo, go watch Counter Punch Boxing tonight. My audience at the time, too, was probably at the time, I don't know, I had maybe some hundreds, whatever. I hadn't even got to 1,000, even 1,000 people at the time or whatever. But I'm like, yo, because I tuned in and I watched. I told you, when I go on people's channels, I don't really type shit a lot. I barely do. But I understood what the people was feeling, because this motherfucker sat here and lied after we all heard. Now, I don't know if Kurt heard the audio, but we heard that shit. We knew Wilder said that shit. So we like, fuck this. This motherfucker's lying. You understand what I'm saying? So, to interview someone, like for me, if I know, and like I said, I don't know if Kurt heard this shit or not himself, but I heard that shit. So I'm not going to waste my time talking to somebody that's lying. And I know the conversation is because listen, if you can't be real and honest about what's going on, what the fuck do I want to interview you for? But this is the beauty of it that people overlook too. Because you can always go back to that Kurt Neville video and you can pull up the guy sitting there representing Wilder saying Wilder never said that. Champ misconstrued, right? Or, and you can listen to Wilder say it recently. And then you can also go on somebody else's channel who have it. I got it. It's in my archives where you hear Wilder say it. So not only did Wilder's representative lie, Wilder lied. And he told that same man, I think when he's talking to Kurt, he said he was in Wilder's house at that time. Now, at the end of the day, we all sat here and know that this motherfucker was lying. See, this is my thing. I have no interest in really interviewing fighters, and if I did, it would be done differently. One, I'm not here to glaze you. Two, I want to keep it about what's going on. You know, the fight that's coming up. I don't want to talk about rumors. I don't want to talk about your personal life. I want to keep that all sports. The problem with controversy is it's always going around. Conspiracy theories always going around. So when you talk to somebody, people want you, ask them this, ask them that, ask it, right? Little petty shit. An example, if I was interviewing Floyd Mayweather, I'm not even going to bring up the $340 million unless Floyd want to talk about it. So more than likely, before you even interview a person, most of the time now, when you go live, or maybe not so much because you haven't really, unless you keep talk to this person, personal calls and all that, whatever. But more than likely, it's always been the thing where people tell you, I don't want to talk about this before you go live or whatever. I don't want to talk about this, or this. All right, whatever. So my thing is, though, the way Wilder has been moving, he's always been lying and making excuses. So when people are like, but he's black, yeah, he is. So is my uncles, my cousins and all that. But if they moving wrong, I'm going to tell them the same way. And I love them, but I don't love their lies and their bullshit. And I let them know that. And I'm the type of motherfucker, if I got love for you, but you got some crooked shit about you that I know is going to piss me off, the best way for us to stay cool is to stay away from each other. I ain't friends with Wilder. That don't mean if I'm trying to embarrass you by asking you something that came out of your mouth and then you deny it, and all I gotta do is sit right in front of your face and hit play and go, you motherfucker, you said it right there. You think they gonna like that? But you said it. Now, what people are overlooking is this. All these Wilder fans, we talking years now. A lot of the motherfuckers done said, man, just what I'm saying, walked away from Wilder. Why you think this fight is happening in the UK? Who the fuck cares about Wilder versus fucking Derek Chisora over here in the States? Who cares about Wilder versus anybody in the States? When you start fucking having boxing matches in this fucking chitlin circuit type shit, yeah, you can't sell that fight. This a whole new, think about this. Where was Jake Paul when Deontay Wilder was fighting Tyson Fury? All three fights. Huh? Okay, you see my point? This is a whole different demographic of people now. So you got to explain to people now what happened between Wilder and Fury. So the people that's still here that don't have a problem with Wilder, when they hear these stories, they're like, damn, come on, Wilder again? Oh, not this glove gate shit again. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is where we are. 2026. He's still talking about glove gate. He got evidence. Remember this doctor that was, remember, they said a doctor was supposed to come forward the following week with evidence about the egg weight that put a dent in Wilder's head. Remember that? Yeah, remember that. His own brother said they had an autopsy. They did an autopsy on Wilder. Remember all that shit? The doctor never spoke. I mean, so now what we're going to do is have a documentary leading up to this, play victim and talk about Fury cheating and sparring and doing all other types of shit. But the problem is this. I never once put anything past Fury. I don't even like Fury as a fighter. Fuck Fury. Y'all know this. I don't even like Tyson Fury as a fighter. But my point is, when you sit here and say, this motherfucker ain't had no pad in his glove, even if I could see his palm, that ain't got shit to do with the padding in his glove. That got nothing to do with nothing. Not to mention, y'all mentioning this shit like there wasn't a referee in the ring. Like Wilder himself couldn't see this shit. Wilder got the best view out of everybody in the building. The ref didn't see nobody in his corner. So everything that he claimed to be dirty and cheating and all, right? Nobody's making a case for it. Notice this whole time, it's been Wilder and his fans versus Fury. Not Malik Scott, not JD's, not Mark Breland when he was there. Nobody. It's just been Wilder's the only one. He's the only one from his camp claiming this cheating shit. Now the egg weight thing, you mean to tell me Fury is a magician? That motherfucker managed to take his gloves off and somehow the egg weight just dissolved, just disappeared in thin air? Where was it? And you couldn't detect nothing going on wrong in that ring? Let's take Nassim Richardson, for example. When he caught Margarito with the plastic glove shit, right? Check this out. Imagine if Nassim Richardson would have saw that shit and didn't say anything. Now, say he goes in there and then he knocks Shane out. Then Nassim Richardson say, yo, man, that dude had plaster in his gloves, in his wraps, right? Shouldn't Shane Mosley be mad as fuck at Nassim Richardson? The fact that he saw this and didn't say anything, but he saw that shit and he kept it and he said, I ain't giving this to nobody but Shane. I give it to anybody else, that damn thing will disappear and hey, I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, you know what I'm saying? So my point is, when you got proof, you got proof. They made excuses like Wilder's some baby, like he's not a grown-ass man. Now, all of this shit in 2026, Wilder is fighting Derek Chisora. He's trying to sell this fight. He said out of his own mouth, Derek Chisora need me more than I need Derek Chisora more than Derek need me. Derek Chisora don't need him at all. Now, maybe for his final payday, like he's saying, okay, cool, we both up in age or whatever for fighters and whatever, wear and tear, slow down tremendously, okay, cool. But this fight does nothing for neither one of them. Only thing happens is if Wilder wins, okay, he live to fight another day. Because according to Derek Chisora, this is his last one. So basically, my retirement and Wilder's redemption, somewhat. Maybe that'll get people more into the fight. All the talk about Luis Ortiz and everybody else and all the knockouts and he's tainted his own career. Now, how Wilder fell off was simple. Deontay Wilder not being a well-rounded fighter, having the right hand, was protected and was given the right opponents. Didn't respect the sport of boxing, didn't respect the art, the craft, the sweet science, and decided, I got the blessing and the curse in the right hand. When you hit this hard, you don't need skills like that. All that other stuff don't matter. What applies to other fighters don't necessarily apply to me. Do y'all know that Deontay Wilder don't even know how to hit a speed back? Like, he don't know how to hit a speed back. Okay? He just started learning how to jump rope a couple of years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago, some shit like that. Like, really, he jumped rope like, you know, somebody just learned. He got them heavy, he don't like to jog. He didn't tell you he hate jogging, all that stuff. The same things Mark Breland told you, and that he don't listen. Okay? And so basically, by the time he decided to step up, it's not because he wanted to. He figured if anytime I step up is for a world title fight, even if I lose, hey, for name's sake, I'll probably get another one. But if I lose to a contender to get there, that's going to set me back. And that's how he fell off. That's why he fell off. That's how he fell off. And why? Like I said, because he didn't think he needed to get better, his ego. And I just don't think that he absorbs information well. Even just his training methods. And then you look in the comments, yo, champ, you looking swift. Yo, great to have you back. Yo, boxing ain't the same without you, champ. Yo, the footwork looking, what footwork? And I'm sitting here like, wow, these people are just as delusional as he is. And this is the reason why Deontay Wilder never got better. He didn't think he needed to. And like I said, I truly just don't think he has the mentality just to absorb what he really needs to become a better fighter. Can you imagine a quarterback that basically just think he's going to run on every play? He doesn't think that it's necessary to really pass the ball. How long he going to last in the NFL? You know how many times you used to watch the and one guys, you go out to the parks and you got people, and they go, yo, and one dudes are killing the NBA. Like, on what planet? Are you serious? Do you realize they couldn't do more than half of that shit on the court in the NBA? And if these guys in the NBA came to play like that, you know, look, we're not telling you that people come out there. We know several people that would come out there and ball with them and all that, but you talking about they'd kill the NBA. So you telling me that they can take a squad of 5 and NBA put their squad of 5 together and come out there and one guy's going to be killing these dudes? Well, yeah, okay. If that's what you want to believe. Now you talking about taking the worst players in the NBA that's on the bench or something and you putting them, nobody's saying you. We used to rock with Rutgers. And we used to be there giving them the motherfuckers the business. Like we would literally have our starting 5 and their starting 5. And we beat them sometime. We go in there and play 4 quarters in the fucking in the gym, and ref and all that. And we beat them sometimes. Sometimes they beat us. Understand what I'm saying? So, but the point is we're playing regulated ball, but we know how to play. We're learning to play ball properly, not just street ball. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, it's all talent, you know, all the shit that they do. Now I know it look all that street ball. That's street ball. And it's entertaining to watch. Okay, cool. I was digging the and one shit when it was going on. But you understand what I'm saying? People have this mentality. They should start making claims to things. Get your head all gassed up. See, the difference with that though is the most that's going to happen is you just going to be embarrassed when these NBA guys crush you. Like, you get the best motherfuckers in the NBA. And you telling me that if we took Michael Jordan, Kobe, Pippen, Vince Carter, you understand what I'm saying? Tim Duncan and David Robinson and put them as a starting 5, that 8, man, please. Little white chocolate and all them dudes that be out there? Nah. But they get gassed up. It's 2 different things. Let them stay in their lane. Getting punched in your face is different. Getting punched in your ribs, getting your jaw broke, your ribs broke. Possibility of you leaving this sport with brain damage. Like we say, you play basketball, you don't play boxing. And that's how and why Deontay fell off. And now here we are in 2026, and now people are bringing Glovegate back up. And you know what's happening this time? All these content creators are like, yo, Wilder's lying. Yo, this is bullshit. So my point is, his plan is backfiring on him. I said they needed to leave this shit alone, move the fuck on, and just go on with his life. And I told y'all in the recent video, he will never get over Tyson Fury. Fury's in his head. And I told y'all, I sat there and I watched this dude sit there when they brought up the costume. You said you had no legs. I never said that. Yes, you fucking did say that. You absolutely did say that. Now, how can you sit there knowing he said it and still support the shit that he's saying? See, that's the thing that I'm saying about black people. You want to try to make it look like a black man is selling out a black man because he's telling the truth. But the black man you trying to fucking protect is lying. I can't fuck with people like that, man. I don't know him personally. He ain't did shit to me. He can't do shit to me. But for me to know, has anybody ever lied on you and you still like them anyway? Huh? Has somebody ever lied on you and you decided that you want to call this person out like nothing ever happened? So now, if in 2026, we still bringing up Lovegate, and you got so mad that you threatened Simon Jordan, told you to punch him in his face and all that, you got so mad at him. Explain to me why and how you could be madder, though, at Simon Jordan for asking you questions and making assertions than the person that actually beat your ass that you claim cheated to do it. Which goes right back to that night in Saudi. Bomb squad. Good to see you, Chip. What? What? Imagine going, hey, man, listen, just so you know, in the near future, I know I just gave you a hug and all that. It's good to see you, but I'm going to do a documentary and make a movie exposing your ass because, you know, I still feel like you cheated me. I know that you cheated. Imagine how that conversation would have went after you didn't hug them. So was this always in your thinking? Because if it is, what does that make you? Yeah. What does that make you? How can you possibly? This is what I'm saying. I just dropped videos about people feeling remorse for these racist enemies of theirs. Black people always settling for shit. Crabs in the barrel. Sell each other out. Anthony Joshua ain't say none of this stuff about you. He ain't did nothing to you. You act like you hate this dude. Get in front of him, smiling, shaking his hand. Then did a separate interview. I could see the fear in his eye. I'm like, yeah, something is really wrong with this dude. And I gotta go with Tyson Fury on that one, man. Like, yeah, something really is wrong with Wilder. And it ain't take Tyson Fury to say that. I've seen this shit a long time ago. He got pissed off at Radio Raheem because he's made a comment, and all Radio Raheem is trying to get Wilder to just, you know, hey, I'm giving you the platform, and, you know, say what you got. Like, hey, you know what I'm talking about. To this day, where's all that with Fury? Where the fuck is all of that with Fury? Let's not forget the press conference where Wilder sat there with his headphones on and wouldn't even respond. Where was all that tough shit with the dude that you claim cheated? You did all of that and got your ass beat. And then all the people were saying Wilder had the headphones on because he didn't want Fury to get in his head. Well, it was way too late for that because Fury been in this dude's head for the longest. And he always will be. And unless Wilder end up getting Alzheimer's or some shit, even if if Wilder ended up with dementia or some shit, he might forget everybody's name and his family, all his close friends, but I bet you that motherfucker remember who Fury is somehow. You know how racist people? You ever notice that shit? A racist motherfucker can't remember their daughter's names, their son's name, how many kids they got. They can't remember nothing. They don't even remember their name at times. But they can remember how to call you a nigga. They can remember to be racist for some reason. And that's going to be him. He's going to always have Fury in his head, man. This dude got to this point. See, nobody wanted to keep it real with Wilder. Wilder seems to me like the type of person, he liked to be in control, and he liked to do things his way. His ego got him in trouble because, see, he got to a point he knew he was being cushioned. Wilder, he knows he was being cushioned. He knows that. But his vision was anybody he hit, he's going to knock him out. They gassed him up. So when he did lose, did you think he really thought he was? Not the level of competition that he was in there fighting. But he wanted to try to make the world think that he was better than everybody. If you got the skills, say you playing basketball, and you beat everybody from number 1 to number 10, but to number 8, but you got 10 opponents, right? And then number 9 and number 10 destroy you. Nobody's taking credit from you. And here's the thing. Let's just say 1 through 8 was right, but 9 and 10 was good. If you couldn't beat 9 and 10, are we supposed to try to make it seem like you're on that level when clearly you wasn't? So 1 through 8 you could beat. You proved that. So that's as far as your skills took you. So when people, but you got to give him credit, man. We ain't got to give him shit. Here's the thing. I keep telling you all this. His skills that he have got him to where he was. When you look at that man's resume, it's weak. Malik Scott himself last year said, y'all got to remember something. All Wilder's, and Malik Scott probably thought about it and said, damn, I shouldn't have said that. Because he was telling the truth. He said, y'all got to remember something, though. All Wilder's losses, these are the best guys ever fought in his career. Duh, Malik Scott. Thank you for explaining to Wilder's fucking fans what we've been saying all the time. When this dude steps up in competition, he's going to lose. That shit he's doing with these other guys, the Arthur Spilkers and the Gerald Washingtons, those dudes, C minus, D level. They're not good. Those dudes, that was his speed. Best dude on his whole resume for a long time was Luis Ortiz. And that changed when he got in there with Tyson. Joseph Parker, Zhilei Zhang. So yeah, Malik Scott told you guys what I've been saying from day one. So there was never no hating on Wilder. What, like, they make it sound like we just seen Wilder and said, I don't like that motherfucker. Oh, what does he do? Who is he? Nah, I watched him fight. Never thought much of his skill set. He have no skills. His skills are very limited. I'm supposed to change that because people get in their feelings. Now, dude got in there and he beat who he could beat. Simple. You take a test, right? You answer every question, but you get an 85. You slam your fist down, I want 100. Well, motherfucker, you got to get all the questions right. You knew what you knew. What you didn't know, you failed. Hell, even with that 85, right? Even though it's a passing grade and it's not the highest, but it's a passing grade, motherfucker, you might have even guessed some of those answers right. We're not going to give you 100. You got to earn 100. Whatever grade you get, you earn it. Even if it's a low grade, you earned a low grade. Somehow we were supposed to just, oh man, but you, no. See, Wilder fans and these channels, they all made this a race war and they made this shit about, I told y'all back then, they made this shit about, him being the only black American heavyweight out there that was doing anything. And I'm like, bro, y'all keep saying this shit, right? Y'all keep saying the same things. But this dude is fucking lying. They make it seem like you over here like, yeah, fuck Tyson Fury. I told y'all that shit from day one. I don't give a shit about Tyson Fury. This was about Wilder. So they trying to make a pick side. No pick sides. I don't care for either one of them as fighters. Is Fury better than Wilder? Well, obviously, yeah. And Fury is a fucking weirdo, and he lies and say things as well too. Contradicts himself all of the time. Like we watching this big bald-headed motherfucker walk across, I don't know, it was a golf course or just some grassy field. And he talking to a guy that was interviewing him, and he tells the guy, I know a lot of rich people. He said a lot of millionaires. And he said, and the truth is, those millionaires are the most miserable people I know. So money doesn't make you happy. Right? Money doesn't make me. I don't fight for the money. That's what he said. What happened when it came time to him, when they talk about him and AJ? I ain't fighting nobody unless somebody bring me a boatload of money. Motherfuckers in the comment section. But Aries, you got to realize, he got a family to feed. I'm like, you dumb son of a bitch. What the fuck do you think I've been damn saying all this time? And they make it sound like they're schooling you. No. No, your favorite lion-ass fighter is the one talking about he don't care about the money. But now all of a sudden it's about the money. Wilder said, it ain't about the money. It's about legacy. All of a sudden, it's about the money. It's always about the fucking money. Some fighters, they care about their legacy just as much as the money. That's the difference. But I'm sitting here and I'm listening to this dude talk and I'm saying, why are y'all acting like y'all don't remember any of this stuff? Now you got a whole different demographic of people hearing about Wilder. See, for us that know this stuff, we know it. You think that these young motherfuckers that just came, they don't know about what happened with Wilder and Fury. They don't know about all this shit. So now that they're hearing about it, I told y'all this last time I talked about Wilder, last week. I told y'all, he's going to be more known by this generation as a sore loser making up excuses as to why he got beat up by Tyson Fury. And for those that are interested, when they go back and look at the fights and see he got beat all 3 times, really drawing the first fight, but when they gonna, damn, he fucked Wilder up there, and they gonna make fun of this dude. They're already doing it. Black channels, white channels, etc. They're already doing it. This is what I'm talking about with excuse makers. And Wilder's in this position because his ego and his delusion made him think he didn't have to do anything different, because that right hand will never fail me. And guess what? He fucked around and found out. And that's what this always been. So for any of you little puppies that don't know who I am and don't understand real man logic, grown-up logic, don't go running your mouths thinking you know what you don't know. And this is what I've been saying from day one. I don't need to make up lies and excuses for anybody. Y'all heard me talk about fighters that I like more than others, and that, hey, I want to see this dude win. But if they moving funny, it's not about me looking to make judgment about something you know. But when you start lying to us and you start saying things, and I give you the boxing news, am I supposed to lie for this person or try to make excuses for what they said and did? No. And just like the night that Kurt DeVille interviewed that dude, some of you might remember, I said, nah, don't trip on Kurt. I said, Kurt did the interview. I said, don't trip on Kurt. I said, Kurt ain't make him say what he said. I said, now go look at the video. Go look at the video of Wilder when he said that shit. And then, bottom line, there you go. And all of a sudden, guess what? That video disappeared. That was by design. Yeah, that was by design. Remember when Chris Colbert was being interviewed on the Boxing Voice? And the guy from the Boxing Voice, at the time, he was one of the biggest Wilder supporters. Wilder could do no wrong in his eyes. I remember when they asked him who he got on the fight between Wilder and Fury. And Chris Colbert said, he ain't beating Tyson Fury. Nah, he ain't beating Tyson Fury. Nah, man. Right? Remember that, right? He picked Tyson Fury. And then Deontay or somebody. Bottom line is this, man. As far as I'm concerned, here's how this goes. Let's stop trying to make it seem like you so important. You got millions of people working for you and people making decisions you don't know about. Stop. Somebody tried to cancel the Boxing Voices video. It was Wilder. It wasn't it was somebody from his no. Wilder's the one who did that. And the guy from the Boxing Voice got pissed off. And he said, I'm sick of lying for this bum ass motherfucker. You can't even fucking fight. Lazy ass motherfucker, man. He said, fucking one-dimensional, no skills. Fucking relying on that damn fucking sloppy ass right hand, not even setting that shit up with a jab. Remember how he got mad and started saying all these things about Wilder? You think he didn't notice these things about Wilder the whole time? You think that he just figured that out? No. He admitted he was lying for Wilder and making up excuses for Wilder. And basically, that video made, pretty much had a lot of views, and this is how these content creators eat. Part of it anyway, and they make good money. And Wilder, no matter how much you supported him, just because it wasn't even the boxing voice, it was Chris Colbert. But just because Chris Colbert picked Tyson Fury to win, Wilder ain't like that. His ego kicked him and he wanted to show it. And the boxing voice told y'all, no, Wilder did this shit. You know, Wilder, Deontay Wilder did this. He was pissed off. So now, going forward, Wilder didn't want to do interviews with him anymore. And I remember somebody he fought, it might have been, what's the white guy that was supposed to be sparring partners with Wilder? He knocked out in the first round. I think it might have been around that time. I don't know, but it was, bottom line, when he said his name from the boxing, I'm the boxing, he said, what would you say? But boxing voice, no, I don't want to talk to you. And he turned around, he wouldn't talk to him, right? And this is what I tell you guys, man. These guys don't care about you. They care that you help make them rich. That's all. They care that you help keep them relevant. That's why they only talk to people. Notice, everybody they talk to is people that will ask them questions and say the things that they want to hear, and they let them just have the floor and just go on and rant and monologue and all that, right? They let them do all of that. Why don't they want to do interviews with people that's going to ask them the tough questions? Because they don't want to get caught lying. Because, see, they can say anything to somebody that's a fan. That's a damn sheep or minion, because they're going to sit back and not question it. I'd have made them look stupid. I never said that. Hold up. Click. Well, I ain't had no legs going to the ring because my outfit, 45 pounds, and, not that long ring. Well, even the damn gay dudes was talking about, well, no, it wasn't 45 pounds. Deontay tried it on and everything. And right? Remember, they told all. But he never said it. And he recently said, I never said that. Recently. So he's a fucking liar. And that's the thing y'all don't get. Let's get mad at the black people that try to keep criminals off the street. Let's get mad at the black people that try to keep our kids safe. Let's get mad at the black people that basically don't support liars. If Wilder could fight, I would say, yo, the dude got skills, but he's a lying-ass motherfucker. I told y'all, even when it comes to, what's the dude, Jared Anderson, I said, Jared Anderson, before he got even beat by Martin McCauley, remember I said, looking at his opponents, he seemed to be more, the technical one, but I've never seen him have to really have a dog fight, especially with somebody big like that. And that changed people's perspective of how they want to approach that fight a lot of times. And so we don't know. Now, we've seen Martin McCauley in fights where he was taking big punches and he wouldn't go down, right? Okay. So, like I said, when people talk about on paper, yeah, on paper, a lot of times you think something's going to go one way and it goes a different way, right? And so, yeah, it's like, you just have to see, because I had to see more of Jared Anderson. You understand what I'm saying? I had to see more of him. So this was his first step up. So I wasn't sure of how it was going to go. But I was well aware that Martin McCauley got the power to stop him. Okay? Jared Anderson, on the other hand, we know is not the biggest puncher. He's a volume puncher. But did we think he was going to look that horrible? And I told you, I'm not shocked about anything because it's a fight-by-fight basis. Like when Clarissa Shields, she just got interviewed recently. Clarissa Shields said she thought Anthony Joshua was going to knock the boy out, and when he lost, he's like, what the fuck? Like, whoa, how? Right? But like I tell you all, it's a fight-by-fight basis. It's easier, okay, to feel more confident in consistent fighters that you can see the discipline, the skills. Even when they're not fighting at their best, you still see that they got everything covered. Especially the bare essentials, the basics. They're not fucking up with that. When you got a guy like Jared Anderson who hasn't been tested yet, and remember, one of the biggest criticisms he had was fighting all these little small guys. And the one dude I do remember fighting, the guy had some size on him, but that guy was complete doo-doo. So no, you never hear me go, I'm shocked. No. And that's why I said, when AJ look in the mirror, he gonna be like, what the fuck, man? Especially when you look and see how Usyk handled him. I mean, goddamn, do you have to be Usyk to beat Dubois? I like Dubois as a fighter. Holes in his game, yes, like a motherfucker. But I look at Dubois, and I told y'all, I don't feel confident in Dubois. Like he's just that guy. He can beat everybody. No. Even after he knocked out AJ, I said it's possible he go in there and get knocked out in his very next fight. And look at what happened. 4 rounds. By the guy that came up in weight that everybody talked like he's not a real heavyweight. He can't punch. And so you see what I'm saying? So all of that, it's a fight-by-fight basis. Dubois started getting real arrogant and cocky. And it just kind of turned me off because I'm like, this dude, come on, man. Now you talking stupid. And it's just like, now I want to see somebody beat his ass. And then he got his ass beat by Usyk. Now he's, you understand what I'm saying? But there's no material on a personal level because ain't nobody else making up a whole bunch of excuses. I mean, Canelo, with his excuses, he was too young. He was just a baby when he fought the Floyd. Or when he fought the Beevil, he was too small, little itty-bitty Canelo. Or when he lost to Terence Crawford, he had cramps in the legs. It was his menstrual cycle. Come on, man. And this is why I take the time to make these videos the way I do when I make them, because I want people to understand truth, logic, and sound reasoning. That is what I've always been about from day one. I'm not going to sit here and tell you some bullshit just to tell you, man. So when you in there washing your dishes, cleaning your house, or whatever the fuck you doing, turn my shit on, listen to me, and understand where I'm coming from. Because that's what I do. That's what I do. I wanted to fucking really drive this one home because I want people to understand this is Black History Month. I'm going to tell the truth. I don't care what color you are, but I'm saying, understand where I'm coming from. Why the fuck? I don't hate Deontay Wilder. I don't know this motherfucker. I don't like the shit he be saying and doing it. He be full of shit. And like when I say, JD sat there and watched Tyson Fury get his hands wrapped. All 3 fights. So how in the fuck didn't you fire him, but you claiming Fury had no pad in the glove? JD, even when you choose the gloves, y'all know you try them, you put your hand in the gloves. This is what people don't understand. If I'm in Wilder's corner, this is what I'm doing. Put the gloves on. Okay. You or whoever your representative is, that you guys choose the gloves. These are good. You can rock these. Okay. These are the pair. They bag them, they seal them up, they sign them. They don't open these gloves again. Okay? They don't open them again until they bring them to you. And the first time they open is when you put them on. Okay? Before you go out in the ring. That's winning. Which means Wilder was either too fucking dumb to be there with JD's, or he trusted JD's. And JD stuck his hand in there and said, they don't have any padding. That's okay. Champ can take a punch. Okay, let's use these unpadded gloves. The egg weight situation means JD sat there and watched them wrap his hands. A round egg-shaped metal object. That's peculiar. It's nothing. This is what people don't get, but he didn't fire the white guy. And everything is black and white, racism, right? You're right, Wilder. It's always about racism. Which is exactly why I don't understand why you didn't fire JD's. You said Mark Breland poisoned your water. That's who you blamed for it. Your urine didn't come back dirty. You could have broke bread with the black man and AJ, but you choose to break bread with Tyson Fury, who's a white guy. Yet you are talking about racism and how Fury gets advantages because of his skin color. You said all those things. And now all of a sudden you're playing the victim. At the end of the fucking day, it comes down to this. If you are sitting here telling yourself, this man cheated, but when I see him, I'm going to give him a big hug, smile at him, and tell him it was good seeing him. But then I'm going to go do a documentary and a movie telling everybody how dirty he is. When I'm face to face with him, I don't talk tough. But when I'm not around him, I talk tough and talk about how he's a cheater, he's no good, blah, blah, blah. Yet he's not going to jail. And for every Deontay Wilder fan that ever went in my comment section telling me how that motherfucker's going to jail, you going to see and blah, blah, blah. I know. Y'all all got pissed off because y'all learned the hard way. I told y'all he's not going to jail because Wilder has no evidence. Wilder's making up shit. In fact, the first person I heard it come from was Dante's Boxing Nation, 7-8 Sports, Fanon, and it was somebody else. And then I'm like, okay, hold up. But the funny thing is, when Wilder got knocked out after that third fight, I don't know if Dante wanted to do an interview with Wilder or something, and Wilder rejected him or whatever, or this just didn't reach out. I don't know. But I remember when Dante did that video, he was saying, just because you want somebody to win doesn't mean you think they're going to win. And he's like, I don't know, Wilder got to do something. That lazy-ass jab, and like he was irritated. And I never, ever heard Dante never at no point say anything about Wilder. Okay, and I don't even consider that negative, what he said. I never heard him point out his weaknesses and really make it known that, no. All I ever heard him do was glaze Wilder and talk about how great he is. And I'm like, nah, y'all tripping. Other than that, right here, he got nothing. Now, at one point, he did use his jab a lot. The best example of his jab is the Chris Arreola fight. You go back and look at that fight, Wilder was using his jab a lot. But what he showed you, he just don't know how to set shit up off his jab other than just the jab right hand. And if you remember, Wilder would throw that shit in, like he literally hop in and then throw the right hand over. And little by little, it just got to the point where, like I said, his skills wasn't increasing. He never became a well-rounded fighter at no point. He became the same, and Wilder's one of the rare people you watch that's supposed to be a top-level dude, but somehow you watch him and his skills just don't get better. He never learned to turn the right hand over properly. He do it in spurts. Sometimes he throw it right, but then most of the time, especially if he catch you with a shot and he's jumping in all that swing, that wild windmill shit, like literally throwing punches like this and shit. And we're hating on him for being honest. Would I be hating if I said Paulie Malignaggi has no punching power? I mean, because it's true. But no matter what you say, it's hating because you're pointing out the truths. Yo, when Wilder steps up in competition, he's going to lose. He's going to look back. Oh, man, yeah, I know. Fuck that and fuck you. We'll see. And then as soon as he steps up in competition, oh, now he's old. Yeah, okay. But he's still fighting even right now. So all these new people that's hearing about Wilder for the first time, this is their introduction to Deontay Wilder. A 6'7", 40-year-old grown man, whining and crying about something that happened years ago, and the claims he's making never had proof of. And after he do this little documentary and this little movie, I'm going to tell you before it even happens what you're going to hear. A bunch of claims. A bunch of he said, she said, but no actual proof of nothing. Because if he had that proof, he could still do his documentary and his movie, but Fury would already be behind bars. You don't need Fury free in order for you to do this. This is the whole thing. This generation don't care about the truth. They don't care about what's real. All they care about is being entertained. And if that man tried to kill you, because according to your words, that's what he tried to do, and you got your ass kicked by this dude multiple times, knocked out and everything, one punch knockout on top of that, and all you gonna do is make a fucking documentary and a fucking movie, but he's out here free, and you probably, if you see him again, you probably hug him and smile and hug him again like you did the last time. Remember he sat in the corner, oh, I don't respect you, oh, right? Then he issued an apology afterwards on Twitter. Yeah. So yeah, this is how and why Deontay fell off. He didn't respect the sport of boxing. He thought that he had the mindset y'all tried to make it seem like Clarissa Shields had when it was MMA. Like she just went there, nah. Like I can do this, I don't have to train. No, she told you MMA training was like the hardest thing she ever did. It was completely different from what she was used to. And yeah, but let y'all tell it. Nope, she never said that. She had Deontay's mentality. I got a curse and a blessing in the right hand. So everything that Deontay Wilder said, y'all, it came back to bite him in the ass. I don't respect the sport of boxing, basically. I'm bigger than the sweet science. I don't need to learn that shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to learn that shit. I'm protected. I'm fighting guys that I know ain't worth the shit, but I'm going to tell y'all that they are. And if I step up, and whenever, hopefully I'll be better by then. But two, even if I lose, it'll be a huge payday. Yeah. And it didn't go the way he fantasized. So yeah, it was working all up into Tyson Fury. Okay? And by the logic that he used, saying, oh, Tyson Fury went down like he was dead, the ref should have waved it off, even though he didn't finish the job when Fury got up. Same thing can apply. They just had a fight a couple weeks ago where somebody got hit, didn't go down, but was wilding all over the ring and the ref waved it off. Now, think about the Luis Ortiz-Wilder fight, the first one. He hit Wilder, had Wilder all over the ring. Okay, and that dude didn't wobble as much as Wilder did, and they stopped it. Okay. Now that dude could use the Wilder fight for an example to say, nah, they stopped it too soon. Look at how Wilder, this motherfucker was falling all over the ropes. When your back hit the ropes and the ropes hold you up and you gotta, yeah, they consider that a knockdown too. And then the start of the 7th round, they gave Wilder like some extra time to clear his head. He wasn't bruised, cut, he wasn't bleeding or nothing. No contusions, nothing. But all of a sudden, they just, go check on him. For what? We got to protect the investment here, man. People be mad if we, So when they didn't stop that fight, right? Like Wilder said, the ref told him I had to do what was best for the fight, for best for boxing. Okay, what the fuck did you think they was doing in Wilder's situation with Luis or Ortiz? What's best for boxing? This is a championship fight, right? Okay. And the crazy thing is, Fury sitting up and then coming back and start walking Wilder down was the highlight of that fight in all three of their fights. Even with the knockouts, everybody talk about him rising up like the dead man, like the Undertaker. That's what they talk about. See, with Fury, how do you get dropped, but you get up and got more left in the tank than the guy that just knocked you down? And when people look at all this stuff and analyze this shit, this is what they coming up with. And this is what I'm telling you. Now they doing Glovegate all over again. Pulling up the old footage and shit. And 90-something% of the comments I've seen, all these different people, everybody's like, yo, come on, Wilder, you tripping. Yo, Wilder, come on, man, you lost. Get off that shit. See, that's why I don't fuck with Wilder no more, man. Damn, what? Right, but I told y'all back in the day, he was lying. He was lying. Plain and simple. Not because I assumed, but because we saw. And when I hear what come out of your mouth and then you say you didn't say it, nah, man. I don't respect people like that. And it has nothing to do with personal. I don't know this dude personally. Anybody that I know personally that I think is a liar, I know them, not think I know that they're a liar. I tell them till they face that shit and they know. Why would you trust a liar? Why? What fucking world do we live in? Anyway, I just wanted to put that out. And yeah, man, salute to all my black people. It's Black History Month. Whatever Wilder needs to do, get his life together, get his head right, whatever it is that this guy needs to do, he needs to do it. Okay? But to me, his delusion has got him to the point to where it's like, I think Wilder is not happy with anybody around him that's not a yes man. So no matter what he went through with the baby mama or whoever the hell or whatever, all this shit that fucking, what's his name? What's the big fat dude with the damn wig? Motherfucking wig. Yeah, damn Jarrell Miller. Yo man, she was my side piece, man. That's the gang. This dude telling me where he's to bone your chick, man. And you don't want to fight him. Huh? He tell everybody all these things. And you don't want to fight this dude, man. You don't want to go knock him out. People who've actually done things to you, you somehow don't. He avoid Jarrell Miller. Avoid talking about Jarrell Miller. Anything about he disrespect. Oh yeah, go beat his ass. But like I said, you act like you hate AJ, who's never done nothing to you. And I'll say this too. And then I'm gonna end this video. Real shit. For all the people that only responded to make comments about AJ, hopefully that he gets better and get through the, tragic loss of his good friends and training partners and all that. Your mind is not going to be on everything at every time. We get that. But let me say this. I think Clarissa Shields was sincere when she said it. I heard her say it, and then there was a couple other people. But let me say this, as you fighters sit there and talk about how y'all put your lives on the line. People don't understand. Nobody has to tell y'all to get in front of your cell phone and make a disrespectful video, right? Nobody has to tell you to talk your bullshit. It's crazy, though, how when people go through things, you motherfuckers do not want to show support to a fellow boxer, and especially amongst you black fighters. You won't, hey, what's so hard about saying, hey, AJ, listen, man, I know what you went through, and we all, lost people, man, and it's never a good feeling. Wounds heal through time, and whatever your decisions are going forward, hopefully, man, you have your inner peace and you get back to what it is you need to do, and that, you're in a great spot in life, and you and your loved ones make it through these tough times, man. What's so hard about that? Huh? No, but y'all will, like Andre Ward and Shakur Stevenson, jump on there and feel bad for your fucking enemy. So my point is, if you're only saying a few words, and it's funny because when it's supposed to be positive, it's like 10 words or less type of thing. But when you're talking your bullshit and making accusations, you won't shut the fuck up. You just talk all night long. That's something you need to do on your own. Nah, that man just lost his friends like that. Yo, I think Tyson Fury said something too. Tyson Fury's a delusional motherfucker as well. And the thing is, when you have a fucked up mentality like that, a lot of people look at you like, man, I don't give a fuck what he said. That shit ain't sincere. Because this is the way y'all do things. Take the time to show the camaraderie amongst other fighters that you claim we don't understand. They don't, well, and you always talk about people don't understand this and that, and they don't, nah. You don't understand what you project to the public about yourselves. And the fact of the matter is, it should have been way more, not just because it's AJ. I mean, just in general, there should have been way more people saying, hey, man, my condolences, AJ. What? No, y'all don't show camaraderie amongst each other. That's the problem. Y'all don't. But then when something happens to you personally, that's when all of a sudden y'all want to go batshit crazy and complaining about everything. Hey, listen. I said all I need to say. And like I said, salute. Happy Black History Month to all my black people out there. And, let's keep it real, man. We can't be sitting up here supporting lies and bullshit. If that's what you think being black is about, a motherfucker sitting here making lies like he's lying. But we just going to act like, because everybody else lie. Right, so if everybody else start going around molesting children, you going to do it too? Because everybody else is doing it? Hey, at the end of the day, I said what I said.